In the aftermath of the sin of the spies, some new laws are introduced. Now, these laws are introduced with a particular introduction, and that is when you come to the land. Which means it could very well be, and the rabbis point this out, that maybe this generation felt, we're not entering the land, and we messed up. But what's to stop our children from messing up? Which means if the punishment is so severe, it's going to happen again. And this promise that was made, that the land of Israel will be ours, we're never going to go there. So therefore God says, no, when you're going to go to land, it's going to happen. This is God now giving his word, saying, I will be keeping my word. And maybe that's something that we shouldn't have worried about. But in the aftermath of the punishment, we can understand why the people had this sensitivity. But the particular laws are interesting. One of them is with the use of wine, and the other is with the use of bread. The wine is going to be used for libations in the altar when giving offerings. And it speaks about the bread taking what we call challah, which is interesting because the very bread that we use on Shabbat, which is in order to remind us of this holy bread, where challah is separated, comes from this name. So wine and bread are specifically chosen. And what's interesting is they have something in common. One thing which they have in common is in the rules of making a bracha. Both wine, borei pri hagafen, or gefen, and bread, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, are considered to be, shall we call them, uber brachot. These are brachot which include all kinds of other things. Any other liquid which is going to be, or beverage which will be consumed, all comes under this. Once you said a borei pri hagafen, it includes everything else. Anything that you're going to eat after you make a bracha on bread is included within the bread, included within the meal. These two items, as we see from the blessings, have something special about them. Both of them also need human involvement. It's not like a fruit that grows on a tree. Grapes grow on the tree and wheat grows in the earth. But they both need a process to take place, which is human involvement. And that's quite important. It's as if God is saying that you're going to enter the land, but in order to make this work, we're going to need a partnership. God is saying, I'm going to provide all the raw materials. Now you take them, and you're going to need some time. It's going to have to ferment a little bit. And then in the case of the bread, it's going to rise. In the case of the wine, it's going to turn into wine, and then can be used. There seems to be a message about patience. Human involvement with a divine creator, and a little bit of patience. And holiness is achieved. What an incredible metaphor in terms of this promise we're going to enter the land. God is saying, I'm going to provide the raw materials, and you're going to be involved. And you're going to take them and you're going to use them and turn them into something which is holy. A little bit of patience, a little bit of sweat. But the result is going to be holiness. And as we're told about these laws, hopefully the people who were listening understood full well, not just that they're going to enter into the land, but they're going to be entering into a partnership with God. And despite the terrible episode, a little bit of patience, and it's all going to work out.